Hi there and welcome to this Hockey Inside Out Show bonus episode. I'm Stu Cannon of the Gazette, joined by my regular partners here, former Canadiens teammates, 1986 Stanley Cup champions, Chris Nyland and Rick Green. Chris, Rick, you guys have both dealt with injuries during your career. I imagine you can relate a little bit to Kirby Dach, who's been hit by the injury bug yet again, having season-ending knee surgery on his right knee, the same knee that he tore the ACL and MCL in only 2 games into last season. Ricky has 1 more year left on his contract. Does he have a future with his team beyond that?
Well, unfortunately, before he got hurt, I thought, okay, he's giving us a little bit of an idea, what he's all about. I thought he was starting to play well from the standpoint, skating well, getting involved, and, just doing what everybody was hoped that we would see him doing. And then, bang, this nails him and knocks him back. And those type of injuries, I never really had that type of injury to the knee, but I'm really concerned about, second one with that severity is not a great thing. And unfortunately, I'm not sure whether or not his long-term future is that much of a positive one when you've got a young guy that's had his knee torn apart a couple times. And I hope I'm wrong, but I'm really concerned about the future for him with what he's had to deal with as of late.
Yeah, 24 years old, Knuckles. I mean, he had the wrist injury in Chicago. He hadn't been playing well this year. Team worst, minus 29. How does he come back from this?
Yeah, it's difficult. I cannot imagine where he is in his headspace right now. I had a bunch of injuries near the end of my career. I broke my arm twice. I hurt my knee. I had the hockey hernia. It's like I stepped on an IED. I really was a mess at the end. And my body was all beat up. And, that was tough for me to deal with. And I had been around for a while. So as a young kid coming and trying to establish yourself, and you had the injury in Chicago, and then you come here and the knee, and now, when watching him early in the year here, he was struggling, and you can't blame him in a sense. You have a big injury like that, that's difficult to come back from, okay? And I think when you play guarded and you're worried about the knee all the time, you're going to have a difficult time to focus and do your job. You got to kind of play with a little bit of that reckless abandon and get going again. Otherwise, you're going to stay in that rut, and you're never going to be the player that you want to be. And then, we see him get hurt again, and God, it's got to be, he just started to, he played some good hockey. He was starting to turn the corner, it seemed, and then he gets hurt again. It's just, mentally and emotionally, it has to be so difficult on that kid. I feel so bad for him. It'll be difficult. We saw Andrei Markov near the end, right? He had those 2 big, twice he had it, right? And he came back as a defenseman, Greeny never had to deal with those kind of injuries because, like I said, when you play with a little reckless abandon, you have the possibility of getting hurt. And you have to be able to skate to actually hurt your knee. So,
all I know is when we went in the corner together.
No, I'm
usually chops. You were coming out with the puck. I'll tell you that much. I don't care how tough you were.
But yeah, I just can't imagine where that kid is mentally and emotionally. That's got to be such a difficult thing. 24 years old, God.
Well, as you said,
terrible place to be.
Your injuries were at the end of your career, as you were saying, right? Not because you had some earlier, but this is, like, say, 24 years old, and he hadn't had a great season, and you start wondering if now you see why the Chicago Blackhawks are willing to give up on a 3rd overall pick so early in his career. Owen Beck comes in and replaces him at center on the second line between Newhook and Armia. Newhook and Laine, and he just looks so much better defensively in his own end compared to what we saw with Dach. Rick, I mean, I always keep saying your line is don't trust the forward, but how much of a concern do you have on Dach's two-way play moving forward?
Well, I mean, it's tough enough game when you're healthy, and I always look back and with Nux knows there's guys that we played with that they're born with certain weaknesses, whether it's shoulder, whether it's knees, whether it's ankles, or whether it's brain. There's just certain things that are, that hurt the player from developing into what they should be. And, I really worried about a guy like Dach that's, maybe something underlying is there in his makeup that's causing all these things, bad things to happen to him, which is not a good scenario and really does jeopardize his ability to play in the NHL.
And I think about like Sean Monahan, former Canadian. I mean, all the injuries he's had. Goes to Columbus this year. He was having a great season, and he's hurt and he's out again. And so in a Kirby Dach, I mean, I can't see him with this team beyond next season when his contract expires. But it's going to be up to him next season to come back and prove that he deserves another contract, whether it be with Montreal or elsewhere. Anyway, that's it for this Hockey Inside Out Show bonus episode. I hope you all enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe to the Hockey Insight YouTube channel. Go to MontrealGazette.com/newsletters to sign up for the Hockey Inside Out newsletter. And of course, go to HockeyInsideOut.com every day where you get all the latest Canadiens news. Also, if you have a bonus question you'd like to ask for us to answer in a future episode, please put it in the comment section below.